Do I have to read the meeting minutes? Is that what I have to do?
Everybody should have received the minutes.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody looked at them, and if anybody wants to do something about moving to approve them or not, or amending or correcting.
They look fine to me.
I move to approve the minutes, Virginia.
Thank you. Thank you, Virginia.
Second.
Hello,
Okay.
it's
There she
Sally.
is.
Hi,
Right
Sally.
on.
Hi, my Zoom is going crazy. It's making me download another app and everything, so I gave up on it.
Okay, so Virginia made a motion, seconded by
Me,
me.
Carol.
Carol.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could use names, I'm sorry because I can't see you and I don't know your voices. If you could, before you say anything, if you could identify yourself, is that possible?
Virginia, this is Lisa. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have not received any, this is Lisa. I have not received any contacts regarding any changes or requests. I went in and I double checked before the meeting started, and nobody's asking for anything else except for what we discussed the last meeting.
Okay, wait, back up a second.
Vote.
We had a motion and a second. I didn't hear a vote. I know it got confusing there, but
Oh, sorry.
was there a vote to approve the minutes?
It's Barbara, I second it.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Okay, good, thank you. You're official now, okay.
Okay. I knew something was messed up. So I guess tonight we'll discuss the Lucy Stone tea coming up. I haven't heard anything whether it's not going to happen. Maybe Virginia could speak on that, or Pat.
Virginia, you got any thoughts?
Well, the Historical Society has not met yet due to COVID-19. They postponed their June meeting, I believe. I don't know. They postponed their May meeting. I'm sorry. They postponed their May meeting. So there's been no discussion on that as far as I know. I think the Historical Society might be waiting for a possible date from the women who are going to be hosting it, because I think the date depends a lot on when the women can host it.
Well, we don't know if we can host it if we don't know if the Historical Society will be open.
Well, the Historical Society is now open Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
So,
but we will be open on Saturdays.
Well, not to my knowledge. I believe the governor has said that museums can open as of June 30, but I don't have any information on that because we haven't had our June meeting yet. We meet the last towards the end of June on a Wednesday. I believe it's the 4th Wednesday of the month.
And thank you, Virginia. This is Lisa again. We did discuss at the last meeting that June 30th, at the earliest, the Historical Society would know due to the governor and that COVID-19 situation. So that makes perfect sense.
Right. But Virginia again here, but I believe that it would help the Historical Society if we had a date from the women who will be hosting the tea. Then we can, because we can't pick a date unless we know that that date is good for the women who are hosting the meeting, providing the food. So if the women who are providing the food can give us a date, perhaps in August, that might be something for the Historical Society to be able to work with when it meets in June, if we meet in June.
Okay. All right.
Does that make that clear? Yeah.
So yeah, they're basically shooting. This is Lisa again. They're basically shooting for a date, just so they can kind of pinpoint it. And I guess we're all kind of holding off because of the COVID-19.
I mean,
Right. We're Go ahead, because I'm Lucy Stone, so I'm set to do my presentation. I think, and we've got the material, and we're all set to go ahead, I believe, pending input from the women's group on when they would be available to provide refreshments for the tea.
And I think it's maybe more when people are going to feel comfortable getting together. You got a pretty small kitchen there.
Yep.
And when are people going to feel comfortable? I think we're at a point now where people would actually come to the tea. It seems that a lot of people are willing to sit out at local restaurants and eat outdoors. So I think that part of it, which we were worried about, would people want to come? I think maybe easing up a little bit. I don't know, Barbara, you have a sense about people wanting to get together to do the food and stuff in that little kitchen?
Well, I mean, I think it's a hard call because everybody is still trying to follow the governor's dates and follow his rules for things. If it could be outside, I think that they could certainly do social distancing. But if we get rain, like we did the last time, I mean, you wouldn't possibly be able to get everybody upstairs into those little tiny rooms.
Yeah.
And the kitchen is very tiny. I think some other kind of arrangement would need to be figured, maybe only a couple people in the kitchen doing the tea pouring, and then a couple people in another room helping to fill trays. I do think we're also gonna, as people that are thinking of providing the food, we're gonna have to follow those same guidelines. Probably gloves and masks and all of that. So there's a lot to think about still.
So Virginia here, so would it be prudent to postpone this discussion for another month? Because basically we don't have enough information right now to make a decision on that. Is that, am I correct in understanding that?
Virginia, this is Lisa. I feel that we probably should not make too many decisions tonight, but I'm worried about, like, even when you go to restaurants, you still have to be 6 feet apart. Most restaurants are serving everything on plastic cups, silverware that's wrapped. So I think, is the word prudent to wait for the governor to give us more guidelines? Or, I mean, I'm not a food server. I don't own a restaurant. So, I mean, we're all certainly can police ourselves, but that room is very small, that kitchen. I agree. So we'd have to section each other off, wear masks and gloves. We wear gloves anyway, but I don't know how we're going to serve tea if they're recommending using we'd have to use, paper, hot coffee type.
Yeah, it wouldn't be quite the same. Yeah.
Right, it'll lose its, it won't be the same.
And it's a problem everywhere, because we, our barbecue that we always have in July, the Sportsman's Club said they're not having any gatherings down at the Sportsman's Club at all in July. So I think everybody's just sitting and waiting on everything,
So that's,
So
you can't, they won't even let you do like a drive-through, like you can prepare the meal? Okay. So I mean, I don't have an answer for you as far as, I mean, I thought it would be really great if we could have in August, because that's clearly the actual year, the month that we got the vote. And I think this year would be so amazing if we could actually really do the Lucy Stone presentation and have the tea, because this year I am hoping everybody goes out and votes, and it would be nice to have some kind of focus on us. The newspaper would probably do something on us, or a small article or whatever and just focus on it. And I mean, voting is so important, and I thought it would have been really great if we could have pulled it off. But most people are postponing everything until next year.
Well, maybe we could just kind of see how things go for the next several weeks, and if we can pull it off in August, I'd love to do it in August if we could do it.
And I have no plans in August, so I certainly can tell you right now, I'll be definitely there. So it's no, I'm not worried about that. We're not really mingling too much either, so there's nothing going on. So.
Hi, it's Sally. Can we postpone it until July, when we might know more what's happening? And even, I don't know if we're planning on a meeting in July, but even by email, we could get notified what the setup is and what the plan is, and whether we have to postpone it till next year or whatever. Can we just put it on hold for a little bit?
Hi,
Probably a
Sally.
good idea.
Sally, this is Lisa. I think that we should probably have a meeting about a month from now. And,
Okay.
and I feel all of us would agree that just to be on the safe side, at least we know what's going on in the state of Massachusetts. If there's a spike in COVID cases as they report and everything, nobody's going to come out. So,
Right.
and I certainly am concerned about not only the public coming to the event, but us, the people that will be serving, and the workers, I guess, or Virginia as Lucy Stone, because she's going to be talking and walking around, or I'm assuming, and so we really don't have a choice. We do have to postpone it till to talk about it in July.
Right. It was just the discussions going on, just kind of talking about it, but I didn't know if we were going to make a decision now or what.
Yeah, no, I think we should probably make a decision to at least have another meeting, and that would be the topic in July. One of the topics about that.
So Lisa, this is Barbara. I'll make a motion that we table this discussion for now and hold off until we meet again at a date designated in July.
Thank you.
We were going to make a decision now or what?
Yeah, no, I think we should probably make a decision to at least have another meeting, and that would be the topic in July. I sound awful.
So Lisa, this is Barbara. I'll make a motion.
What's that feedback?
I think it's YouTube. I think it's the YouTube feed.
At a date designated in July.
Thank you.
We were going to make a decision now or what?
And
Do we
sec-
have to wait to talk?
Wait a minute, I'm getting feedback. I'm getting feedback on YouTube here. Wait a minute.
Lisa, can you mute that YouTube?
I'm trying to mute my YouTube, but I can't figure out how.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Pat was doing it today.
In the bottom left of the video.
Bottom left of the video. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so Barbara made the motion and seconded by,
Am I allowed to second, Lisa?
sure.
I second it.
This is Virginia. I do have a question. What are we acting on as the Templeton Cultural Council? What are we acting on? Why are we discussing this? I'm sorry.
Because we're sponsoring the tea.
The council is sponsoring the tea. Well, the council is sponsoring some of the tea, but or all of the tea? I'm not quite sure. That's my question. Is this event being sponsored in total by the Templeton Cultural Council?
I thought we were paying for this is Lisa. I thought we were paying for the advertisement.
Okay, I just wanted to make it clear in my mind. Okay.
And
Well, we're sponsoring. We're sponsor. The Cultural Council is sponsoring it. The ladies of the churches are hosting it for the food, but we agreed that the Cultural Council would provide the printed materials, advertising, those sort of things. So would be what we would consider sponsoring it.
Oh, cool. Thank you for clarifying. I always, sometimes I don't get things quite clear. Cool. Is there an amount?
Well, whoever put in for the, I believe you had some Lucy Stone and voting paraphernalia and such that you had already put in for. And then we'll advertise it. The Templeton Cultural Council will advertise it for the Narragansett Historical Society.
And we agreed to
Okay.
pay for the flyers, you know, the printed flyers.
Okay. Does that come out of the money that you have coming from the town that you're not gonna, that has to be used by the end of the fiscal year, June 30? Is that what we're talking, where that money would be coming from?
Virginia, this is Lisa. That would be no.
No.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that money will be gone after June 30th.
Right. Virginia, again, that's why I just hadn't heard a specific amount that the Templeton Cultural Council would be providing for the Lucy Stone tea. I was
Because
just asking.
that was in part because we didn't know what the cost, we hadn't been given a cost of like the printing of the flyers and so forth. We said we would work with the Historical Society on it.
Okay.
And again, without a date, without, the governor saying that, after June 30th, we still have to find out what's going on. They would have never printed anything without hearing from us. So,
Oh, yes, I'm just trying to make sure I understand everything clearly. Thank you.
all right, Virginia. So we motioned to table it, so we'll move on. Any more questions regarding the tea? The Historical Society tea? Okay. Looks like we were gonna talk grant modification requests, and I haven't received any requests to have anything modified as of today. So,
Can I make a suggestion?
absolutely.
Could we kind of go back to the second one on our list and do the treasurer's report?
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. We forgot all about it.
And then, people have a better sense of where we're at and what we've spent so far of our grant money,
Absolutely.
where the rest of our town money, how much of that has been able to be used and how much is not going to be able to be used. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Please.
Okay. So far, just so you know where we are with grant money left to pay, we've actually only paid 2 items out of our grant fund money. One was actually to pay for a grant that happened in the 19 year, but got submitted. It was still within the time frame. That was the Narragansett 6th graders going to the Tacova Museum. And that was $400. And then the seniors had their paint party just in the nick of time before the COVID hit. And that was $300. So currently left in our grant fund money, we have $8,206.07. Now I'm going to stay with this before I go to our other 2 funds, because it's been hard to get the mail unless we hear from somebody on an email that has a question about their grant. Town offices are still closed, and I'm under the impression that they're going to be closed at least through the end of June. It could be longer. So I have to call somebody and hope they're in their office. And if they're not, I try somebody else. And then I have to ask them, and I feel like I'm, wasting people's time. Could you check my mailbox? Well, we had mail, and I picked that up this morning. We haven't had any for a while, but one was from the Narragansett, their drama club for their Mary Poppins, which they had to cancel. We had granted them 1,000, and I know at our last meeting, without rereading those minutes, that we decided that they had incurred some costs already, and according to the Mass State guidelines, we can give them money that we had funded if they had already prior to purchase items and spent money, which they had. They sent in that letter, where did I put it? Wrong pile. I know I have it. They gave me an outline of everything that they've spent, like on a spreadsheet. However, for me and us as a council, to reimburse them, I need some actual receipts, that would tell me how much they exactly spent. I can tell you real quick that for the total cost of their performance was over $5,000. So they're looking for 1,000 from us, which we had granted them, and they have spent money, a significant amount on building props and scenery and decorations for the props and the scenery. So all I need from them, and I can contact them if you want, to let them know I just need individual slips. Like, I know they shopped at the lumber places. I've lost my Home Depot and Lowe's. They went there. They went to the, Hobby Lobby for things. So if they can give me those receipts, then I would be able to reimburse them what we already said we would. Is that make sense to everybody?
Now, is that the Narragansett Theater Company?
Yeah, it's their drama club.
So do you want me to kick them off an email and say we actually need receipts?
If you want to do that, that's fine. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just send them an email. I'll do it. I'll get to it. Yep. And then they'll just have them send it through the mail.
Maybe if they could
Email.
not send it to town hall though, because
Or can they scan them?
because we might not get it in time. We have to submit them. I think we would have to submit for that.
We have to what?
We get the receipts, and then you have to get them to town hall, and then they have to do the checks and stuff. It might be, is there a faster way than them sending it all by mail to town hall?
This is Lisa. What if we, I wonder if they would have the capability of scanning the receipts in an email.
You can get a scanning app for free. I use it for work.
Hi, Brandon. Okay, scanning app.
Yeah, for
They
free.
should
I
be-
use it for
They
work.
should be able to.
Super
They should
easy.
be able to do that without a problem.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that in my email and just say, we really do need the receipts to be able to submit for reimbursement. And if you could just scan them and make sure that they're in an email, because then, like you said, there's no running around waiting.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And the waiting I understand, but I mean, they have time to put this reimbursement in. I just need the receipts in order to attach them and, bring that all to town hall. So we have everything that the Mass State says we need attached to the reimbursement form.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think as
So
long as
if
they
it's a
scan them
hassle
and
for them
send
to do
them.
the scanning and they don't have that ability, although I would think with the school, maybe they might, they could mail it. Hopefully the mail isn't that slow.
Okay, this is Lisa again. So I will make that suggestion if they don't want to mail them, that they can scan them and, you
Yep.
know, and they'll just send it to the Templeton Cultural Council email, and I'll make sure you get them, Barbara. Or
Yep.
do you have access to the email? But, so I can take care of that. But and then in the email that I send to them, I will say, if you don't have access to the scanning and you don't want to bother with it, just make sure you mail us the receipts to the same address that you mailed the reimbursement paper to.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll take care of that.
All right. I also heard from the Winchendon Music Festival indicating about their digital, which they have already begun, and we already agreed to support them with that. They did not send in any kind of reimbursement, but they do not need to yet because they still have time. Their series is going on for a while. And the other one that I know we talked about, the Winchendon Concert Series. They just asked for extension. Am I correct in that? I wanted to verify that from
I think they asked
last
to extend it until fall. They were hoping to do
till
something in the
till like
fall.
October, right?
This is Lisa,
Oh.
correct.
Okay, so that's all fine and well. Okay, so that's where we are. Any questions? That's where we are with state funds. In our fundraising account, nothing has changed there. That's $396. And that is supposed to be used for grants or supporting grants. And in the town, we have the 3 separate accounts, as I told you. And out of our where'd my paper go? Services, we had $750. Under supplies, we had $450, and under support, $375. We have spent under supplies $206. And that's it, but that will be gone at the end of this month, on June 30th. If we had something, I can do a warrant for encumbered funds, but at this point, you all tell me, but I don't know what else we would need. Some of the supplies that we were talking about possibly buying for the Arts and Crafts Festival, the steel band, to get some bongos to go along with our steel drums that we have for kids, but that's all been canceled. So unless anybody has any ideas, but I have to be done pretty quickly because I have to do that.
Hi, Barbara. Sorry to interrupt you. This is Lisa. I did buy those bongos back in February. We had never met to discuss that. I picked them up. And so if you wanted me to submit for that, I could, if you, but it's not necessary if you want to use it for something else.
Yeah, I wished you had done that right in February because we had kind of talked about it at a meeting, but we, wasn't super finalized, but that, I understand that. Just, yeah, if you can get it to me ASAP, I'll see if I can talk to Kelly. I just talked to her today and said we probably won't.
Well, then I
have
don't
anything.
have to submit for them. That's fine.
No, send it to me and I'll get it over there. Because I think, Jackie, do you know when the actual date is that I have to submit that form? I forgot.
It usually gets extended into like the 1st or 2nd week of July, but
I thought it, well, okay.
for
I
encumbered,
thought it was July 15th.
yeah, for encumbered funds, I think it's right
Okay.
around the 1st or 2nd week. You should be safe. I would say the 1st week just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, so you got time, Lisa. Send it along.
Yeah, by the time I ordered it and got them and COVID hit and we never had the meeting to discuss the fact that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then the last meeting, it just escaped my mind until I was in the cellar about a week ago and I saw them. So I was like, well,
Been there, done that, so
yeah, so.
no worries.
Okay. So is that all the funds discussion?
That is. Any other questions?
So basically, the $750 for services, we haven't touched at all. So the only money out of all the money that the town gave us, we've only spent the $206.
Yes. No. Wait a minute. Yeah, out of the 20, yep. No, I'm gonna take that back because our funds start on the 30th, right? I'm looking at my spreadsheet here. We had, no, I'm still right. That's it. That's all we did.
So I always get confused about the fiscal year issue and the
I know.
grant year issue and all that, but did we not pay for the steel drum band which played last August? Would that have not been from this fiscal year's budget?
But it didn't come out of town funds. Last year?
Hmm.
You're gonna
I
make
know
me
for
walk
this year-
back
I know
and
for
get
this
last
year-
year's book out?
Well, I know for this year we were doing it as a grant from the state funds, but I thought last year's we were.
Paying the whole thing out of town?
I thought so, but maybe I'm misremembering.
Well, if you want to table that discussion, I got to go into the back office and get my other book.
I was just
And
curious.
I'll do a double check.
I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry.
I get very confused by it. I thought we paid the steel drum people the day of the performance.
Well, we do, but you see,
That would have been,
it would have been in August. So it would be this current fiscal year if that came out of town funds.
Kirk's done weed
And
whack.
I assume everybody knows that the Templeton Arts and Crafts Fair has been canceled this August.
Correct.
I already kind of packed that book away
Okay.
because I know I'm done in a couple of weeks, but I just yelled to my husband and asked him to print it off because we have it on the Excel sheet, if that's all right with everybody.
Thank you.
I think we might have paid part of it out of town, but sorry.
I just couldn't remember how we handled the funding of that last year, because I remember in the past there was an issue of paying them the down payment and not paying them the down payment, and I couldn't remember how it went.
Yeah, well, you have to use the funds before June 30th. If you have some that are going to come up and be encumbered like the bongo drums, then I can still submit for that, and I'm pretty sure it's till July 15th. I think that was the date. But that wouldn't help us with anything right now. I don't know what you're.
Okay, so we'll just wait for, do you want to move on or?
Yeah, you can move on and we can come back to this.
Speak to the rest.
He's yelling.
Okay.
Oh, we lost Brandis.
I think she just paused.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it's bedtime for the kids, so I'm
Oh.
here. I'm just on mute because I'm
Okay.
trying to make sure they go upstairs to go to bed.
I'm just glad you could be part
Oh,
of
we
the.
lost you.
Nope. I'm sure you don't want to hear my kids screaming about not wanting to go to sleep, though.
We paid Monadnock Island Sounds last year. Yes, you were right. Out of town funds, the full amount. We paid them August 24th.
So that would have come out of that 750, or that would have been in addition, or we still have the 750 after we paid them?
That was paid in the year 2018. Not 19. Out of 19, we did not pay Monadnock Island Sounds.
But Jackie, aren't we in 20?
We are now.
So if we paid them last August, it would have
18.
been out of 2020, fiscal year 20 funds.
No, 2019 money?
This is from the 2018, we paid them, which would be the 19 year fiscal year,
Okay,
because it changes in June. They don't play till August.
right.
So we paid them in August, and it came into the 19 year. I'm giving you the date it was paid. It was, but again, I don't get what your point is. What's your point? Are you asking if we can encumber that?
No, I was just wondering if that $750 of services is what was left after we paid the steel drum people. I mean, how much did we start?
We started with 750 in services. We started with a total of 1575 from the town.
Okay. Okay. That answers my question then, thank you.
And then those other accounts, you know, the service part we usually use for bands, like Monadnock Island Sound when we could, the Kite Festival band, and support we have never used.
Okay, thank you.
Does that hopefully clarify it?
Yep.
Then that is it, I guess, for me. Anybody have any other questions?
Does anybody have to, I have no questions, but do we have to motion that?
To accept that lovely report.
I move we accept the report.
I second it. Carol.
Okay, so the fifth bullet is to discuss pending term expirations and a treasurer and transitions. So as you all know, Barbara White is the treasurer and she will be expiring, and I mean loving for her term. She has been the treasurer for, is it 5 years or 6 years?
5.5.
And you can only be on the council for 2 consecutive terms, and then you have to at least be off for a year, and then you can come back if you want. With that being said, that we really do need a treasurer, and I wasn't sure if anybody wanted to volunteer to take that position.
And silence.
So that sounds like it's a no to everybody, from everybody.
But don't we need a treasurer?
We do need a treasurer.
This is Sally.
I feel
I'm sorry I can't volunteer to do that. I just got too much on my plate right now. We're trying to do the association through all this mess and everything. So I'm sorry I can't.
Thank you, Sally. So I don't really know. I don't know enough about the council. What happens when you come to a crossroads when you don't have a treasurer? Because I am terrible at finances. I don't have the time to do it, and I feel I'm overwhelmed as the chairperson, and I know I cannot take it. So this is Lisa saying that.
And I hesitate because now I'm going to be moving again. So.
Correct.
And I don't have anything to do with finance. I mean, I felt later on, but not now.
I mean, legally, I can't do it anymore for the council. And as I told you at the last meeting, I'm more than happily helping anybody, through the beginnings. This year is just extremely different as well, because basically 80% of the things so far have been canceled, or are up in the air, postponed, that we're unsure of. So, I mean, I've already talked with the Mass State Cultural Council a few days ago and again today in regards to, how do we handle from, as you said earlier, Lisa, you haven't heard from anybody else as to, we've heard from those couple of people about postponements and things, but we don't know about any others. So unless they have submitted any kind of information to us, that money will roll over into next year. It would be encumbered if, for certain people, if they had, sent in information about where their thing is going, and then we would have to vote on a modification approval. But right now, we don't have any of those other than the couple that we got.
And I think a lot of people are kind of sitting on the sidelines too, because they're waiting to see what's going to happen over the next, couple of months.
Right, and that's kind of how everything is going. It's kind of all up in the air. So I feel bad, but I legally can't be on the council anymore.
It's Sally. Would it be possible for a couple of people to share the job initially?
If somebody's willing to, this is Lisa, if
I
somebody's
thought-
willing to volunteer.
I don't
Yeah,
see why
I
not.
thought
For a while, we had co-chairs, I think, for a little while, because we were in a same thing. We were in a transition period a while back.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Oh, I think a couple of years ago, I think we did some sharing of the chairman duties because of the same
Oh.
issue where we were during that transition period with people coming and going. So you probably could.
Do we know when everybody's terms are up? Really?
The town does have a list. Carol, I think I just saw you on an agenda for being reappointed
What?
by selectmen.
What? Don't tell me that.
Isn't that right, Jackie? Did you see that?
Really?
Somebody
I
wrote your,
swear, I have been on this committee forever, and they just don't keep track of me. I swear. I know I've been on for at least, what, 5 years, I thought.
Really?
Yeah. I came on, when was Kevin Byrd the president?
That was a while ago.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
And I started after you. Didn't I, Carol?
I can't remember. Did you?
I don't,
We were around the same time, I thought, at least.
no, that,
The town does have a list somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate it is. That's what I'm saying.
Now, my 6 years expired last year, and I've been serving as a ex officio just in order to provide some transition because there were so many new people. After June 30th, I think I can actually apply to go back on the board because my exile would be over.
you're
Back to the
Oh.
island.
So then we could nominate you to be the new treasurer then.
Well, but I have to be.
Carol, do you have the minutes since you first came on? Would that help you tell?
Well, I used to. I'm not sure I do anymore.
Yeah, with all your moves.
Ah, right. I'll have
Yeah,
to
we
look
must
and
we
see.
must have all that. I'll dig through and I'll find.
Because Janice was on when I came on.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
She was the chairman.
When I first came on, Carol, you told me that your term was going to be ending soon.
I thought so too, but nobody else seems to think so. So
Not that we don't want you.
I'd be curious about that. Anyway,
I'll-
but I'm
I'll-
saying I might have to go off too, but maybe not yet. I don't know. But it feels like it.
I can try to check to see what the town has, but the town records for this council have not been great because they didn't know when I was up either, so.
Right.
The state should know though, shouldn't they?
I don't know.
No, maybe they will.
I think they should.
I'll look into it. I'll see if I can find everybody's expiration date,
Yeah, that would be good.
best used by or sell by or whatever.
So I'm not really sure where we go from here if we don't have a treasurer.
You could revisit it at the next meeting.
Yeah, maybe we'll know more by then about
I'll try to,
expiration dates.
before we meet again, if we're gonna meet again next month to talk about these other things, I'll try to find out everybody's terms before that date.
Okay.
And we have a couple of people who aren't here, so you never know.
Someone will pop up. I know it's a hard job and it's probably one of the harder jobs on the council. So I understand everybody's apprehension on it.
It's not that bad, really. It's just a lot, you're laughing, Carol, cut it out.
I am.
It's the paperwork and it's the forms and, from my viewpoint of working with the town, I work with Kelly 90% of the time, and she's been absolutely wonderful to me. She's excellent. And I can ask her anything, and if I go in a dither, she knows how to calm me down, and she's great. I can't say enough about her. And I remember when I first started, Pat, you were going to be the chairman. Was that when you started as chairman? Or already were. Anyhow, we sat down with Kelly, and she went through absolutely everything, the forms. If I shoot her an email and I have a question, she gets back to me instantly. If I call her on the phone and she's out of her office, I hear from her when she gets back. So she's been great to work with. And Holly's been a great help too, because I've had to go in and ask her several things. Other than that, the treasurer. She's a lovely gal too. She's been great. I haven't had any problem working with anybody in the town. And with help with my figures and numbers, Kelly's been great. And then it's just the forms and checking the mail and getting two people to sign it and those kinds of things.
Well, let's table it until we know more. I mean, about where we stand with expiration dates and whatnot, and then we can bring it up again. Can we do that?
Well,
Keep it in mind.
we're not meeting until July, and I mean, it sounds like we really don't have a choice.
Well, there's nothing going on right now anyhow, so it's not like there's gonna be money going in or out or anything. Jackie, do you know about the town budget for the coming year?
The selectmen voted to propose at Wednesday night's town meeting the budget that they have set in their hearings, which I believe doesn't represent any cut to anyone. The danger is whether they will not be able to get that budget passed, and the alternate of a 1/12 budget gets passed on Wednesday night, and that's, from the little I understand about it, that's really tricky for everybody. Not ideal.
Because we don't know if we're gonna have town money for next year. And given all this COVID business, there's no telling what's gonna happen with the state budget, whether the state may change its support of the arts. You know, they've been, they've been very good and have actually increased the budget the last couple of years for the cultural councils. But with all this that's going on, you have no idea if there are going to be funds available for grants for next year.
Right.
So the treasurer may be a moot point if we don't have any money. So.
Well, I mean, I'd be heartbroken.
Well, we still have, we still have the money that isn't being spent this year, which will roll over into
Correct.
next year. Not the town funds, but the state funds.
I'm sure there's going to be something from the state.
Yeah.
How much or whatever, but I'm sure there'll be something.
I think the worst case scenario is it'll just be smaller. It'll be something.
What's that, Lynn?
I'm sure it'd be something from the state. It just probably would be smaller.
Right, right. It's hard to tell.
And the town, you just don't know. I mean, because the town's in tough shape, and who knows? So would we like to set a tentative date for a meeting next month, and we can try to catch up on these things?
Okay, so you want to kind of do it like exactly like 1 month from today, if the calendar is available. With, we have to look at the town calendar to see. Let me see if I can get into.
Is a Monday still good for people? Brandis? Oops, we lost it.
No, I'm here.
What's your schedule like? Because
I mean, so I work Monday through Friday, but since I'm the director of nurses, I'm kind of like always on call, so I never know when I might get a call. So, and then I'm in school full time, but it's all online, so I do it when I can.
Okay. So would Monday at 6:30 be okay? 7 or?
It should be okay. The later, my kids usually go to bed at 7:30.
Okay. 30 be better, or 7?
Or 6?
Yeah, I mean, 6 should work. My mother-in-law, Lynn, though, is an ICU nurse, so it depends if she's working that weekend or not.
Yeah.
If she's off that weekend, she'll probably be working that Monday.
Okay, all right.
Because, I mean, we've been trying to find a night that works for, that works for everybody and doesn't conflict with other town meetings.
Like I know Nicole works Tuesday nights. It's her late night, but I don't know what late night means.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, for me, I mean, like I said, I technically stop working at 4:30, 5 o'clock, but it just depends if there's an issue, and especially now with COVID, I'm getting calls and texts from clients at all hours. So
Yeah.
that makes it difficult.
So would a 6 o'clock work for everybody?
I don't have a problem with 6 o'clock.
Okay, Sally.
Yeah, Carol, works for me,
Okay, so 6
I
o'clock.
think.
And are we talking Monday or Tuesdays?
Monday,
The 13th?
13th?
The 13th?
If that works for the town?
Yeah, if it works for the town.
So I have a quick question. Is it all right for me to keep doing this till you find somebody? Because what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't just,
Hunt. I
Let
understand the concern, right? That's why I wasn't sure if it needed to be decided tonight. Sorry, this is Lisa.
I think particularly, quite frankly, given the COVID thing, I think the state and stuff is gonna not raise any questions about expiration dates and things because they know that so many things are up in the air. And then you're good. I mean, you're good till June 30th anyhow.
yes.
So it's not that much is going to happen between June 30th and July 13th.
Right. Except I have to admit, I was really getting anxious to be done with being treasurer.
No
I
retirement
cannot
for
tell a
you.
lie. I was really hoping to pass it on.
But you
But
said
I-
it's not that bad, Barbara. And then you're
Well,
saying,
it
I can't wait to
isn't.
give it up.
I'm getting older.
No,
I get tired quicker.
right.
And the mind works a little slower.
Yes, definitely.
No, I will hang till you get somebody.
Okay.
I
All
would
right.
be
If that's permitted. I'm gonna be calling the state tomorrow. I'm gonna find out what my legal ramifications are for this.
when I'm done my degree, I would be able to, but not until then. So it would be, I think, too much.
And how many years is
You
that?
think? You think you have too much going?
I'm getting my master's in nursing and my MBA, so I'm getting both.
You don't have time.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
That's more.
Okay, I feel bad now I complained. I'm really sorry.
It was my choice to do this and have 2 kids and work. So
Good for
don't
you.
feel badly that you complain. I
Go, girl.
love school, so love school.
You be
Need
proud of
people
your-
like you.
proud of yourself. That's a lot.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we shelf that. Does anybody motion that? Can I motion it? I motion to shelf it till July 13th, but with the caveat of hopefully somebody really thinks about doing it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
In favor?
Aye.
Bye.
I
Okay, so I'll make sure there's a note that goes out when we double check the date. And I'm assuming we're probably still gonna be doing it over Zoom, so we'll have to check with the Templeton, the TCTV people to make sure, Sean and Steve. So, and then there was another on the list, number 6, new business. Do we have any new business? Well, new business, Brandis is with us. She's new. She's our new business.
Welcome.
yay.
Hi, I was never technically sworn in. I went to the town meeting thing, but because of COVID, we were, Lynn and I were unable to be officially sworn in.
Let me just say, I really appreciate you coming and being part of the meeting, even though you're not official, but you could tell a lot of us are not like all about the official.
So Jackie, how is that working with the town if people need to be sworn in by the town clerk and
That's a
offices
good
are closed?
question. I thought that they were allowing things like that to happen by appointment.
We weren't sure, and the fact that we're both nurses and she's an ICU nurse, we were like, we probably should wait, right?
Oh, you're pretty, yeah. And it would be interesting to find out if, I'm surprised they didn't do it on Zoom.
Oh, yeah, I could.
You have to be part of the council, right? Or is it just the town? The council has to meet you and swear you in, correct?
No, it's the town clerk.
Same thing.
Town.
Oh, you guys made me go to a meeting. I sat there through the whole meeting. They're like,
I
oh,
did.
I went to the
I went to the meeting. With my little boy. He came.
Well, that's
Some
to
sort of meeting.
right. That was just to introduce you. But I don't know. I'd call the town clerk, see if you can get sworn in over something like this, or make an appointment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind going in at all. I have no qualms about seeing one person and being sworn in. But usually people find out I'm a nurse, even though I'm not, like, I don't work in a hospital. It's a really quick way to clear a room.
But the town offices are closed, right? You can't even get in the building.
They're closed, but I think they are doing things by appointment because we've had some new hires who've had to go in and fill out query forms and that sort of thing. So there are some things taking place by appointment.
But see, like, I hired someone and I filled out queries and it's all Zoom, and it was all, you can do all of that via Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think it's just because it's so new, nobody really knows. Everything is just,
Right.
but they might even swear you over the phone.
Right.
I mean, it's a situation. That's just like the Zoom meetings are now fine. They changed the legislation or the law that we can hold Zoom meetings. And quite frankly, I really like the Zoom meetings because we all see each other, but we're all safe in our homes. And, like tonight, it's running longer because we were discussing a lot of things. But at least you're not getting in your car and have to drive, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We're all home safe, and so hopefully we can continue to the Zoom meetings because I like them. I think they're great. And
see, I do too, but I Zoom a lot now. So I had a Zoom training for 5 hours straight today. So I'm
Zoomed
out.
Zoomed out.
yeah.
So if you get a chance, you might want to just call the town clerk and ask about getting sworn in, because you actually have to go in and swear something,
This is Virginia. I was never sworn in either.
Well, see if we could get an answer. If one person could get an answer, you could tell everybody what the answer is.
Are we really
I can call.
Virginia, could you repeat that?
Sorry.
Oh, no. I don't work or anything, so I could call tomorrow and find out and email everyone. Is that something I could do for you?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Sure, yeah.
Call the town administrator, or who would I check with?
The clerk.
Would that be Holly?
Town clerk? Holly. Yeah. Okay, so I'll call Holly and ask her about that.
That was Carol Harris.
Holly's not until Wednesday.
Holly.
You'd want to call the town clerk.
Town clerk.
The town clerk. Okay, wrote it down. Town clerk. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow. How many of us? Oh, I don't know who. Give me the names of who hasn't been sworn in.
Myself, so I'm Brandis Danette, and Lynn Danette, my mother-in-law, haven't been sworn in.
I'm not quite understanding. So could you spell
Virginia,
that, please?
Virginia, I'll email you the names.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's perfect. Good. Thank you. Good thing.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 It's good to see everybody's doing well.